Your ex is contacting you and you don't know exactly what to do. You don't know whether you should reply, whether you should ignore them. I'm going to answer this question very quickly. Should you reply to an ex who contacts you? The answer is yes. You should reply, but obviously it's more complex than that, and I'll explain everything after the jingle.
IGetMyExBack.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
So first of all, the context. You need to, because obviously every situation is different. Do they reach out because you ask them a question, you wish them happy birthday or something like that? Is it something out of the blue? You've been in no contact for a few weeks and now they're reaching out. It's a totally different dynamic, you will understand. Makes sense, right? What are they saying? Is it just checking in? Is it to tease you? Is it to make you jealous? We're going to look at those scenarios in a minute. What is sure is if they reach out, it's a sign that you are in the headspace in some stage. Now the problem is, what sort of role do you have in their life? In their opinion, are you a friend? Are you an ex? Are you a potential partner? And this is what you have to assess. One thing you need to remind yourself, if there's something you need to remember from this video, being in touch with your ex, what matters is assessing. And we're going to discuss what I mean by that in a minute. Now, there's also the element of, is your ex contacting you because they want to control you? They're struggling to see that you have a life, that you're probably dating, that they're not part of your life anymore, or it's because they care about you. You're important in their life, you were important, you're still important. So finding whether it's about reassurance, whether they're trying to be manipulative, because it's hard to let go of the relationship maybe. So it's very important for you to understand whether it's about control or it's about if they care. The good thing is, because you're in touch with them now, you can assess this. Assessing over time, this is the key element here. Recontact phase. So my job is to really help people when after the breakup to communicate with the ex and have this recontact phase that I call. The problem is this phase is never full on. You never ever see someone telling, especially if they took the decision to break up, who's completely sure about getting back together, who will open up, who would be vulnerable, who would share intimacy very quickly. That's why I've created WhatsApp coaching to help people in that situation where they're in touch with their ex and they're confused about what they should say, what they should do, whether they are trying to control or whether they're just caring about you. I call this cycle the leaning nowhere conversations. And it happens quite frequently when someone wants to have the cake and eating the cake. So they're not with you anymore, but they want to have you in their life. They want to see that you're on the hook. And so they maintain contact, and that's very toxic, that's very unhealthy. And it's very hard for you because you're in love with them to see whether they are trying to progress things or whether they just want to keep you on the hook and want that to have the guarantee that you're around. So being in touch is okay if you see that things are progressing. No contact can be used wisely in that matter. It's really about setting boundaries. If you feel that your ex is just getting in touch with you just to see if you're around, whether you would reply immediately, whether they will have the option to take you back immediately. It's about assessing and expressing your needs, what you want, what you don't want. I'm not against using the let's be friends as long as it's a temporary phase, but you can't have, as I said, they can't have the cake and eat it. A lot of the people I speak with, when I onboard them on WhatsApp, I can see that they're in that phase. And they are really, really struggling to let go of this and to set boundaries. Because the problem is then when you don't set boundaries early enough, your ex will say, oh, that's fine with you. And they will continue in these leading nowhere conversations. That's not what you want. And usually what happens is you're not gonna push your ex away when you set your boundaries, when you say, this is not what I want, this is what I want. they will actually raise your value, and your ex will try to think differently about treating how they could treat you as a person. Again, we are talking about a relationship where you had strong feelings for each other, where you had a history. But the staying in touch desert is a really dangerous one. Staying in touch for the lack of staying in touch doesn't matter. It doesn't work, it doesn't matter. What you want is to get back with your ex. It's not to get in touch with them, it's not to stay in touch with them. What you want is have a conversation that leads to seeing each other, having a date, having a coffee date, discussing things, starting with a low intensity and raising every single day. Every single interaction should be a little bit higher in terms of investment, emotional investment, in terms of intensity. If you stay in the staying in touch desert, you have no chance of getting back with your ex. In any case, nothing will progress and you will never get back with them. Pushing them, expressing your needs might push them a little bit further, but at the end of the day, that's what you want. You want to get back together, you want to also have a clarity whether you have a chance or not. So be mindful about the staying in touch, because if I don't reply, if I'm not in touch with them, they will leave me. Could be the opposite that could work. That could be happening. Staying in touch, we're like, oh yeah, she or he's fine with me contacting them for no reason. And if I don't know, I've had cases where my clients, like her ex was like calling her when he needed some stuff to be done, or I had a client where his ex was asking him when she needed repair in her house or for her car or gardening and stuff like that. No. That's not your role. You're an ex. What you want is to be in a relationship with your partner. If they don't want this, you have to move on. You have to find another partner, and they have to understand this. That will make them react. For sure. So be mindful about those. Should I stay in touch? Should I go no contact? It's really about assessing the progress. And if you need any help, and if you need any guidance, don't hesitate to ping me on WhatsApp, and we'll discuss whether coaching on WhatsApp could be beneficial for you. I don't accept always clients because sometimes I can't help them, and I will tell them. So let me know, and I will speak with you soon. Take care.
For a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer.